Hi, my name is Mark Haverty. I'm a Principal Consultant at ImageFast, and I'd like to welcome you to our 12 Days of Christmas SharePoint 2013 presentation series. The 12 Days of Christmas presentations are brought to you by ImageFast, a Microsoft Gold certified partner focused on helping organisations to manage their information and documents more effectively. In this brief presentation, I'll be talking to you about branding SharePoint 2013. We'll look at how branding SharePoint can significantly help with end-user adoption, then we'll walk through the options available for branding SharePoint 2013. So why might we want to brand our SharePoint environments, and what are the benefits? SharePoint 2013 provides a clean interface out of the box. However, depending on your content and your audience, it might not be considered that engaging for the end user. One of the key reasons we look to brand SharePoint is to provide a greater level of engagement with the people using the site, which helps with end user adoption and ongoing use of the site. But before we can think about branding, it's important to consider the type of site we're looking to brand, and at a high level this can be broken down into two types of site. We've got our collaboration and team sites, which are the sites where your employees work on a day-to-day basis, perhaps sharing documents, working with information and data, and collaborating together. We generally want to design and brand collaboration and team sites to maximize the available space on the screen. The other type of site is a publishing site, which are more for communicating rather than collaborating, perhaps intranet portals or public-facing websites. Unlike collaboration and team sites where screen real estate and functional space is a key consideration, we might look to brand our publishing sites to a higher degree to deliver a more engaging end-user experience. Now, having understood the type of SharePoint site we want to brand, the next step is to evaluate the branding approaches and options available to us with SharePoint 2013. This table outlines the effort required to brand SharePoint, along with the new tools and branding approaches available to us with SharePoint 2013 over those available with SharePoint 2010. As you can see, we look to break down branding into low, medium and higher effort projects, and I'll step through each of these in a little more detail next. Low effort branding projects are based on what can be achieved through simple page editing and the use of composed looks, a new feature in SharePoint 2013. Page editing in SharePoint 2013 is essentially the same as 2010. We still have the familiar ribbon with access to page editing options, and we can add images and web parts. Composed looks are an evolution of the SharePoint 2010 theming engine, and they provide a set of predefined looks for SharePoint 2013 sites, which can be easily customized to include your corporate colors and fonts, as well as add background images. Color palettes can also be easily applied to composed looks in a similar way through the user interface. There are some things to consider with composed looks which I won't cover in this video. However, in our opinion, custom composed looks are seen as a good way to brand your collaboration and team sites. With medium effort branding projects, SharePoint 2013 allows us to achieve much more with the introduction of the Design Manager to brand our publishing sites. Design Manager is one of the key new features of SharePoint 2013, and it's an important part of the SharePoint branding story. The key message here is that SharePoint Designer is no longer the only choice for branding SharePoint sites, as Design Manager allows us to work directly with master page files using established websites design tools such as Adobe Dreamweaver or Expression Web. Through Design Manager, both master pages and page layouts can be edited in HTML, and using the new snippet gallery feature, we can easily insert functional elements of code into our custom pages such as search boxes, navigational breadcrumbs and sign-in controls. Not only that, Design Manager allows us to import an existing HTML page design into SharePoint, then convert it into a SharePoint master page, which we can make functional by adding controls using the snippet gallery. Once we've got our branding looking and functioning how we want, Design Manager will also allow us to package the branding as a sandbox solution or an app which can be easily deployed to other sites or site collections. If we're looking to deploy our branding across multiple site collections, then there are other considerations and approaches which may be more appropriate. When we look at high effort branding projects, we're really thinking about making SharePoint 2013 look nothing like SharePoint. So this may be for high brand intranet sites or public facing websites. When planning a high-effort design project, it's important to consider a number of elements, including, what are your visions and goals for the site you're branding. You need to think about information architecture and taxonomy, do the creative design and wireframing of the site, build the core HTML and CSS components. And once all of that's done, we can bring it into SharePoint and get the brand working with SharePoint 2013. If we look at a couple of examples here, these are sites that haven't been designed by us at ImageFast, but show a good example of public-facing websites built on the SharePoint 2013 platform. Hopefully this brief look at branding SharePoint 2013 has highlighted some of the great new features available and given you a taste of what can be achieved when considering different types of branding strategies for your own implementation of SharePoint. If you'd like to discuss your own branding requirements in more detail, please contact us here at ImageFast. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you at the next 12 Days of Christmas SharePoint 2013 presentation.